Okay, so we've got Dr. Thrax versus General Kwai, but I can't build any units. So that means no units from the command center, supply stash, barracks, arms dealer, or airfield if we capture one. So right now we've got our supply stash on the go, building it right next to the command center. That's not the real stash that we're going to be using for resource gathering. Reason why we're building that is we want to get our worker count up. Now that doesn't count as me breaking the rules because I'm not actually building the workers that spawn from the supply center. I'm just building the building and the worker pops out of the supply center. Now, if I was like clicking on a unit or using the hotkey to build a unit, that's me breaking the rules, just so everyone's clear. And rebel ambushes, tunnel networks that spawn the rocket troops, they're all a-okay, because again, I'm not actually building those. So right now we're going to get the real supply stash this time, and that's going to be for our resources. Now, we do have a barracks that's sticking out a little bit. I don't normally do that. I was just trying to build the buildings as fast as possible here because Kwai does hit pretty hard and fast when he gets going. And we need to get our defenses up pronto here. So normally when you go up against General Kwai, one sound strategy would be to get a lot of rocket troops into the buildings that are like in the middle of the map roughly. And there's also some supplies and a couple of oil derricks there too. So usually people would go for the middle and then hold that position, and then they would, build whatever they can at their main base. Maybe a few defenses, maybe some scud storms, something of that nature, because you'd have everything going on in that middle area. Now, in my case, I can't exactly do that because in order to garrison the buildings, you gotta have the rocket troops, and those garrison buildings take up 10 infantry. So that would mean I'd have to build 5 tunnel networks in order to fully garrison one building, and money is kind of tight right at the beginning, so I don't know if I'd be able to make something like that work. I might look into it later, but I don't think so. So I'm going with the standard palace defense strat that I usually go with when I go up against General Kwai. I find that works best for me. There's a few weaknesses to it, of course, like for example, if you go up against tank hunters, you sometimes have to manually click attack on the tank hunter because your palace will only shoot one rocket out of the palace. So you gotta keep spamming that click until you kill off the tank hunter. That's one weakness. Another weakness is sometimes the battle masters, like not so much battle masters, but I get it more with Emperor Overlords. Emperor Overlords can attack in a certain angle and your palace can't actually fire on it. It's very weird because you would think it's in range of the tank, but for some reason it can't attack on certain angles. So that's another weakness of a palace defense, is just angles and tank hunters for the most part. Also helixes. There's a few weaknesses. Sometimes the helixes will fly over the top of the palace on a certain angle, and for some reason your guys in the palace can't shoot down the helix. You'll see it later on in this battle as well. So now Kwai's doing his first attack. One Gatling tank. Now, we set up our palace right in front of the command center. See, a lot of his units are going to come in from that section, and we wanted that palace to go up first. So it does mean that my flanks to the north and to the right are kind of exposed. I've only got a tunnel or two to defend myself. And see that barracks there, it's sticking out, so it's also going to be at risk of being destroyed. When I was setting things up, I thought to myself, well, it is only a $500 building, and I might be able to just use that as some kind of meat shield. It's not exactly what you would call a meat shield when it comes to buildings. You would rely on, super weapons or command centers to be good meat shields, not a barracks. So now that we got through those 3 battle masters, I sent out one of my rocket troops since money's tight, I need to get those scraps, and the rocket ship got vetted up. I didn't want that. I was really trying to get some money here, but it did not work out, and the gat got him.
What is in there?
Since we're building like just supply stashes to get the worker count up, it does mean that I'm only using like 1 or 2 workers to actually gather the resources. In this case right now I got 3. And as you can see, the tunnels are not playing very nice here. I'm clicking on the worker to evac, and it takes so long for it to evac out of the tunnel. I don't know why. It sort of happens to me usually against Kwai, and I think against General Ling as well. There's usually those two when that this happens. And it does, yeah, it really does delay things, because if I need to get my worker out to repair something, and that delay could cost me a building.
Your barracks has fallen to my tanks, General. General, our land is being attacked.
Cannot we live in peace? That building cannot fit.
Now that we've got some cash, I need to get my second palace on the go. So that's the aim, is we want to get a palace for, well, we got a palace for the front line, then we're gonna get a palace for the northern forces, and then we'll get a palace for the forces on the east too. That way we got all of our angles covered. Now, got the rank 3, went straight to level 3 cash bounty. I really need the cash to get that third palace on the go. And I also need to be able to build more tunnel networks, so then I can get more rocket troops, so then we can actually garrison the palace.
Can you feel the thunderous song of approaching armor, General? Guarding the GLA underground.
And I thought I was going to lose my tunnel there. That's why I thought I'd call in my rocket trooper reserves from one of the tunnels. And nearly lost one. See, he's starting to attack on those angles that I'm not well defended on, so I gotta be careful here.
Danger may be near. Don't let them get away! Attack before they attack us! Enough! Do not destroy any more of my tanks, General.
What do you want? Building construction.
Your defenses fall like toys before my armor.
Yep, so now we got palace number 2 done, and it's garrisoned as well. That does mean that I can't use them as my reserves for any attacks on that right. That's why I called in my rebel ambush to take care of some of those tanks. Didn't quite go well for them, but we did get rid of the battle masters, and luckily for me the remaining tanks did go for one of my other palaces, so they were able to shoot down the remaining tanks. I needed to get a barracks on the go because I need the tunnels to be on that right side, so then I can defend myself, but also get more rocket troops to garrison those palaces. And since we got that rank 5, getting the sneak attack, getting the anthrax bomb as well. Sneak attack, we want to invade his base, and anthrax bomb, 2 reasons why we want that. 1, we're using it defensively, like we are right now. So that's just to buy us a little bit of time against Kwai's tanks that will come from that right side. But the other thing is, since we don't have any radar van, this is gonna get used to reveal the map, and then I can go in for the sneak. So as you can see, I can't attack that helix. So it's all about angling. So now I got to evac the palace and then shoot the helix down. It's ridiculous. I should be able to attack that.
I sense danger may be near.
Starting repairs. Yes. Can I have some shoes? Okay. What do you want?
Enjoy the rest, General.
Okay, since we've got the level 3 cash bounty, I'm not as worried about collecting the resources. I got the worker shoes anyway though, just in case we want to collect more resources, and supply stash to get the worker count up as well. So here come the helixes one more time. So we got one of those helixes out of the way because that one was on the way to the palace, and then the second one we had to evac again because that helix made it to that angle. I tried to build a stinger site, so then I've got another angle to attack the helix on, and then I won't have to evac the palace every time, because the evacing of the palace is a risk factor, because if he attacks me from both the air and the ground, or if he uses the MiGs as well as the helixes at the same time, and it hits the palace, then yeah, my guys are going to be screwed here.
Get them now! Let's get in there!
What do you want to do? There's not enough room for that building.
Yeah, going in for that third palace, hoping that we can get it built. I do have 2 guys inside the tunnel. Not enough. We do need that. We do need 5 to garrison that palace.
Soon the field will fill with tanks.
Bringing out the Emperor. Look how quickly the Emperor goes down against 5 Vet 3 rocket troops. It's just, wow, it's mind blowing. And yeah, I made a little bit of a mistake here by popping out. So I lost my rocket troops. I tried to cover up my mistake by doing the sneak attack. Maybe try and buy myself a little bit of time by baiting out that dragon tank, but no such luck. It does mean though that one of the next attacks that Kwai does, he can focus on killing off the sneak attack, and then he could focus on the palace or the tunnel network. So yeah, as you can see, that stinger site that I built, because it's on a different angle, it can shoot down those helixes, and that's exactly what we need.
This is hard work.
All units, attack!
Do not hurt a lot of work.
So yeah, got palace number 3, and now I just got to get the units. I was really considering a palace, like a number 4 palace, but I didn't think it was necessary, because my palace that's firing right now, that's got pretty good angles when it comes to his tanks, and I'm pretty sure my newly built palace would be able to cover up for any of the angles that it can't get to.
I sense danger may be near.
So it's a start, so we got that, so we got 2.
Nice base,
So we're just
General.
slowly but
Get
surely
surrendered.
bolstering up our defenses, so then we can keep fending off his units. We want to be able to eventually get to Scud Storms. Now, problem with the Scud Storms in terms of our setup here is that we don't have a lot of room to play with. We need to be able to compact as many Scud Storms into this tight spot as we can, and then we can use the Scud Storms to destroy his nuclear missile, and then eventually we can get his command center and dozers. So that's pretty much the long game here, is we just want to wait until we're confident enough that we can kill off those dozers and command center in one go. And then after that can go for the war factories and other production, and then eventually we will beat him.
Our homes are in peril. This spells your doom, General.
That was a lot of work.
Our land must be preserved. The GLA underground. Shh! I sense danger. General, our land is being attacked.
Cannot we live in peace? I'm just a peasant. I do what I am told.
Upgrade complete.
So now we're going for that Scud Storm.
Are there
And
no
yeah,
better
as you can
tools?
see, like we're able to get one, but I want more than one Scud Storm here. And I sold off that Stinger sight that was taking out the helixes, and I'm really trying to compact another one in there, but yeah, I could not make it work. And eventually I'm like, oh, maybe I can do one on the left. So then I sell off the barracks, and I also sold off the supply stash. And I'm like, oh, maybe, even if it's just one more. So yeah, I got one more Scud Storm in there. And if I was to like sell the command center, I'd probably be able to get another Scud Storm in there. It's just, where would I build the new command center? That's the thing. I might have been able to get away with it, but if you lose your command center, you'd also lose the general powers, including the cash bounty. So I'm not sure if that would have been the best trade-off.
Oh, okay, I will work.
My forces are at your door, General.
Yes.
Tanks amassing our base and preparing for the final assault. Will your defenses hold this time?
Cannot we live in peace? I will do the best I can.
So right now we're just getting our workers to build extra tunnel networks. See, what we want to do is we want to have as many rocket troops as we can get inside the tunnels, and then when we do a sneak attack, we can use those rocket troops to do some damage inside Kwai's base later on. So we're just playing, like we're just preparing ourselves from every different angle here. See, that's another thing, like if I was to sell the command center and build that third Scud Storm, I wouldn't be able to do the sneak attack as well.
Shh! I sense danger may be near.
So since we got one Scud Storm, it does mean that General Kwai will build his own nuclear missile. So that's the deal, is when you build a super weapon, he'll build a super weapon. And sometimes he can get a little bit weird and he'll build a super weapon on top of his existing super weapon. So you could be dealing with two nuclear missiles. Depending on how things go in the battle, it can get a little bit funky.
Our homes are in peril.
I'm hungry. I will try to hurry. Our work is complete. Cannot we live in peace?
I fear this will end you, General.
Be careful. We have spotted a nuclear missile.
See, there's the nuke. And here's the thing about Toxin General. Toxin General's Scud Storms, especially when it's got the Anthrax Gamma upgrade, they can take out a super weapon and a command center with just one Scud Storm. So I don't need to worry about doing any double launches or anything like that.
I'm hungry.
If we were playing as Prince Kassad, then we'd have to do double launches. Demo General would also be another one that can one-shot command centers and super weapons too. So game plan by this point is we would use one Scud Storm to take out the nuclear missile, then another to do some damage elsewhere. So that's kind of where we're going with this. That's what I had in my head at the time.
You feel the thunderous song of approaching armor, General.
Do not hurt me. I do what I am told. I will obey. I will do the best I can.
Are you protecting your flanks, General? Why don't we have a look?
Finished with the
Ready
building.
yourself.
Do not hurt me.
General! Our land is being attacked!
I will obey. I will help.
It's quiet out there, General. There must be a lot of tanks rolling towards your base, don't you
I'm
think?
just a peasant. Ow! Okay, okay, I will work. Yes.
The tunnels will protect us. Our base is under attack!
A warrior has fallen.
Are you impressed with the modifications to my tanks, General?
What do you want me to do?
A warrior has fallen.
Our homes are in peril.
We can now
Cannot we
use our
live in
scud storm.
peace? I will help. I'm hungry.
Alrighty, so we're just launching that first Scud Storm, and yeah, like I said, we're aiming it at the nuclear missile. So I also used the Anthrax Bomb on the command center. That's going to reveal the map so then I can do the sneak attack.
I'm just a
Now, here's my mistake.
Cannot we live
Earlier
in
on in the
peace?
battle, I ended up putting one of my workers inside the tunnel network to get healed up. And as a result, that means that I didn't have that 10th rocket trooper at the very beginning of my attack. And yeah, as you can see, the command center survived. So if I had either focused my attention on the dozer sooner, or I had that 10th rocket trooper, I might have had the command center, and then I could have aimed my other Scud Storm at the dozer where the war factory is. See, the nuclear missile does have 1 HP, but the residual toxins will take it out. See, now it's no longer on the stream.
Do what I must.
Now I built two demo traps, so one at the airfield, one at the command center. So normally with that, that's I call it build blocking. So by doing that, it means that Kwai can no longer build the airfield and the command center because you've got the scaffold there. So that's one little trick that you can use in order to prevent your opponent from getting ahead in the battle. I also demonstrated this trick in, it was a 1 vs 4 video. So pretty much like if you were to build if you were to build scaffolds where the resource piles are against your opponents, they won't build their supply centers. And you basically cut them off from their tech tree. So yeah, it's a neat little trick in skirmishes, but it is very, very cheap.
Yes.
Our base is under attack!
That was a lot of work.
I sense
What do you
danger
want?
maybe near.
I can't
All
do
units,
that.
attack!
Yeah, as you can see, Kwai is doing a very big attack this time, and when you have your units invade his base, he'll end up sending pretty much every tank he's got inside his base at you, and it's very hard to deal with that massive onslaught of units. So you want to be able to be well defended if you're going to allow the attack to happen, or if you wanted to try and beat him inside his own base, you could. It really depends on how big your attack is. Now, going back to his base, my demo trap at the airfield stayed intact, but the one at the command center did get destroyed. Now, that could have been from the toxins from the Scud Storm, or maybe he rebuilt his Gatling cannon, which would have been within range.
I'm hungry.
Either one of those things would have dealt with my demo trap scaffold. Now, because of that, that does mean he can rebuild his command center. And that does mean that any dozers that he lost, he can replace. Now, with Kwai, he has 3 dozers normally. He won't build any more than that.
Do not hurt me.
Is it safe?
So, while I wait on my Scud Storms to be ready, we've just been building more tunnel networks so then we can get the rocket troopers back up to like 14. I think that's what we had last time we launched an attack. So we want to get as many rocket troopers as we can by building those tunnel networks in those empty spaces where our base is. It's very tight inside the base now, as you can see, but there's nothing more that we can really build. We can just keep building those excess tunnels, and that's the only thing that's really going to give us any decent results later on.
What I must.
So now that we got one Scud Storm, we're thinking, I'm thinking maybe we should wait on the second one to be ready as well and then do a double launch. Now, like I said, the command center is a building that will be destroyed with one launch. The residual toxins can finish the job. But I also want to be able to destroy the 3 dozers that are inside his base too. We want to just do one big attack that will finish him off with building.
Your base, General. Your defenses were inadequate.
Yes.
So yeah, I was about to launch, but then I thought to myself, well, I need to be able to actually see what's going on inside his base. So I decided, let's wait on the Anthrax bomb to be ready. And I told you about this before, the tank hunter is attacking on an angle, so you have to manually click on the tank hunter to attack him with the one rocket. And I didn't want to deal with that, so I just got my rocket troops inside the tunnel to deal with the problem. And that way we can move back to destroying Kwai with the Scud Storms. So he's got 3 dozers pretty close by, and I was thinking, well, maybe let's... I was like, do I do Scud Storm? Do I do Sneak Attack? And the way I place the Scud Storms, it won't destroy the command center, which is why I did the Sneak Attack a little bit further back. Then I did a little bit of rocket fire on the command center. That way I know that it will get destroyed later on. So there's Scud Storm number 1 and Scud Storm number 2. So he's lost his war factory, he's lost a supply center, some reactors, but main thing, command center, dozers gone. Beautiful. Also, he's lost his barracks too. I just noticed that. So yeah, 1 war factory and 1 airfield remaining. And we still have those 10 rocket troops, so we can use those to do a little bit of damage in his base, which is exactly what I did.
Over there. Watch your step. Over there. Our base is under attack. Close. Stay close to safety. The Iron Dragon marches through your puny.
Yeah, as you can see, these guys are putting in a lot of damage. 10 of these guys with Gamma can really, it can just blitz through his buildings and his units.
The enemy may be near.
But yeah, I've got to be careful though, because of the helixes and the MiGs. Because I got them so close together, one shot from a MiG will do a lot of damage. So I got to be able to make the most of this while I can, and destroy as many buildings, and then we can use our 2 Scud Storms when they're ready to finish the job. So we want to try and like destroy enough buildings in a way where we can aim 1 Scud at 1 section, aim the other Scud at the other section, and then that will be that'll be victory for us. So yeah, here comes the MiG. it did take out a few of those rocket troops. I decided to put them back inside the tunnel just for now, and then we wait on the sneak attack to be ready again.
I fear this will end you, General.
Yes.
Yep, so now that my sneak attack's ready, I popped out the remaining rocket troops, and I'm moving to the north using the sneak attack where the hackers are. That's going to draw the fire of the Gatling cannon. We can use the rocket troopers to take out the Gatling cannon while it's distracted, and then that way, once that's gone, I can try and take out more of his buildings.
A warrior has fallen.
And yeah, I did lose some more guys from that MiG there. I still got 3 left. So even 3 of these guys are putting in the work.
Stay close to safety. Ah, can you feel the thunderous song of a
And just avoiding that radiation there.
There they are.
And yeah, going straight for War Factory. I'm ignoring the reactor that's nearly dead. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it's actually acting as cover from that Gatling cannon that's next to it. So we don't want to destroy it just yet. We want to do as much damage as we can on the other buildings first, and then we'll take it out later.
General, our land is being attacked.
And yeah, we're also taking out the trucks too, because the trucks, they can move away to the next building, and we don't want the rocket troops to get run over by the supply truck. So yeah, there's another instance where I had to manually click in order to fire on that tank hunter there.
Before they attack us, get them now. Defend our home. Are you protecting your flanks, General? Why don't we have a look? Attack before they attack
Yep,
us.
just getting rid of all the trucks. That way there's 0 risk. And I tried to, I was getting some of those cash piles. I don't really know why I bothered doing that, because they're all Vet 3 anyway. So didn't really need to do that. I guess I was just doing it for funsies. So there goes that one. And I was about to put him in, but we've also got that reactor I mentioned before, the one that's nearly dead, so we're going to go after that. And as you can see, we've aimed 1 Scud Storm at the 2 reactors in the airfield, so that's going to cover everything there.
The enemy may be near.
And like I mentioned before, we aim 1 to the north, we aim another at the other section. They're all within the radius of the Scud Storm, and it's going to wipe everything out, and that's going to be the victory here. So that is how I beat General Kwai without building any units. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any more challenges like this that are much harder. I'll see you next time. Bye.
We are victorious.
You may have defeated my tanks, General, but the Tigress will crush you like an insect.